Well, hello everyone and welcome to day 7 of the Eat to Live Challenge 2 with a treadmill. So I actually have not vlogged yet today and it's already supper time, which is crazy. But today has been just a lot of being busy and stuff, not any really big deal in terms of food or anything. Actually this morning my husband and I hung out around the house for a little while. I was up for quite a bit in the middle of the night because I couldn't sleep, and so then I took like a 2-hour nap this morning, which was wonderful. And then we decided to go and have lunch at a restaurant, which there's a vegan restaurant near where we live, and I had it's called a chef salad. So basically it was a bunch of salad greens with tomatoes and cucumbers and tofu and what else is on there? Black pepper, like cracked black pepper, and they make their own ranch dressing that's vegan. Anyway, it was delicious, and I'm sure it wasn't like super duper healthy by any stretch, because I'm sure the dressing isn't like super healthy, but the salad itself was good and healthy. And so I had a big salad today with lots of greens, like lots of greens. They serve you like this big plate of greens, so that was really nice. But anyways, so I am actually wanting to make a recipe tonight that is light, but not something I would normally make. So I'm making, it's called a vegetable garbanzo wrap from Dr. Furman's Eat to Live collection. And basically, so the first step, this has a couple of different steps. So basically you need to do the garbanzo bean set, and while that's doing, then you need to chop up some vegetables, and you need to whisk together your dressing and all this good stuff. So anyways, let's get started on the garbanzo bean part first. So this is actually pretty all straightforward ingredients. You should have almost all of this in your house already, with the exception of maybe you might not have a ripe avocado. That might be something you don't have. Or I don't do wheat, so I don't have any whole wheat tortillas that you're supposed to use. So I stopped at the store on the way home from picking up the boys from school and bought some brown rice wraps. So that's kind of my interpretation of a whole wheat. I don't really have that option. So anyways, first things first, you need to cook the garbanzo beans in the oven and then mash them when they come out. So, okay, we're going to do that. We're going to follow this recipe actually, so see how it comes out. There are reviews on here and comments on here, and there was not one negative comment. Everybody said, hey, I followed it the way it was and it was good. One person said, I don't understand why we did it this way, but it still turned out really well. So anyways, garbanzo beans. So I have chickpeas. I've already drained these. I'm going to put them in a little bowl. And then you can put in some seasonings to go into this. So you need 1/4 cup of low sodium broth. So I've got 1/4 cup of water, actually 4 tablespoons of water, and I put 1/4 teaspoon of the Better Than Bouillon no chicken base. That's the the veggie base, not the no chicken one, the veggie one, because that's the 50% less sodium one. So that goes in here. That just gets poured over them. Then you need 1 tablespoon, which I didn't bring with me. I don't know why. So we'll just talk about it. So you need 1 tablespoon of parsley flakes. 1 tablespoon, it says Mrs. Dash no salt Italian seasoning or other no salt blend. So I have an Italian seasoning that doesn't have any salt in it, so I'm just going to use this. I don't usually have Italian seasoning, but we were at Costco the other day, and seeing as so many recipes call for it, and I usually just substitute whatever I have, I went ahead and just bought one. This one says it has marjoram, rosemary, thyme, savory, sage, oregano, and basil. So I just went ahead and got an Italian seasoning. And then you also need 1 tablespoon of onion flakes, and this is chopped onions. That's as close as I have. So those 1 tablespoon of each of those goes into here, and then you want to mix this up really well, and you want to just bake it at 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm going to go start that step, and then I will come back and talk to you about the sauce and what it is that you do for fixins, and we'll make a wrap. It'll be fun. I'm sure it will be tasty. See you guys in a minute. Okay guys, so the next step in the process is going to be making the dressing that you put on the inside of your tortilla shell. And this only has a few ingredients, so it's not very complex at all. The first thing that you need, come on down to my counter. The first thing that you need is 1/4 cup of non-dairy milk. I'm going to use soy milk. That you guys know that's what I almost always use. So you mix that, put that in here. And the next thing you're supposed to have is 1 tablespoon of tahini, but I am only going to use half of a tablespoon because the last recipe that I used that called for a whole bunch of tahini was like, oh my goodness, a lot of tahini. So we're just going to do half of a tablespoon, and I'm guessing that's probably going to be just fine. Let's do that. Yeah, it's almost all out, but it's close. You're supposed to then use 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, and it actually says Dr. Furman's lemon basil vinegar or balsamic vinegar. So I'm just going to use a tablespoon of balsamic because I do not have a lemon one. Or a basil one for that matter. But there we go, 1 tablespoon of that. And the next thing is 1 tablespoon of chopped fresh dill. I do not have fresh dill. I do have some dill weed, which 1 tablespoon would then equal 1 teaspoon of the already ground up stuff, which not a huge fan of dill, so I'm going to do a very scant teaspoon, so not a full teaspoon worth. And then you just whisk this together. So this is actually pretty easy. This is going to be the sauce, and I'm going to get out a little, I'm not sure what they're called. I don't think it's a basting brush. Maybe it's called a basting brush. Anyway, the little, yeah, maybe it's called a basting brush. The little thing with the little pieces on the end that you over stuff. If that's what that's called, that's what I'm going to get. So anyway, here's the sauce. So that was real easy. 4 ingredients for the sauce, no big deal. And I'm just going to let that sit on the side. And then while the garbanzo beans are cooking, while the garbanzo beans are cooking, I'm going to chop up the rest of the ingredients. So what you're supposed to have to put in here are a large tomato, a ripe avocado, a cucumber, red onion, and then some lettuce, whatever type of lettucey type thing you want. We've got a ton of different lettucey type things. So I'm just going to pick something awesome. Maybe, I think that we have a container in the garage. It's a mix that's red and green mix. So I'm going to pick that one, I think. And then your whole wheat shells. So I'm going to just chop up some ingredients to put in here real quick. And then I'll come back to talk to you about putting this together into a nice and pretty wrap. So I'll be back with you guys in a minute. Oh, do you want me to try the sauce real quick? I should do that probably. Let's do that real quick before it gets into something. Tastes like vinegar. It tastes absolutely fine. Tastes like very good vinegar. So anyway, I'm gonna go wash my hands now, and I'm going to go chop up some ingredients. I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay guys, so this is the last step before you are ready to put your food together for the night. So basically, you just take these and you mush them. So you could definitely make this a little bit easier on yourself and get a potato masher out. I probably should have done that. It says to use a fork, but I think a potato masher might have been easier. Anyway, I did try this. They taste good. I mean, they're certainly not, based on the amount of seasoning on them, I kind of expected them to be like super strong. They're not too bad. Actually, they're not, I say they're not too bad. They're good. They're not ridiculously flavored, like, oh my gosh, those are way too strong, I can't eat that. So it's got a nice flavor to them. So anyway, I'm going to go through and do this to the rest of them. So they're in this nice little, I don't know, pile of garbanzo bean chunkies. And then we're gonna make some wraps. So I will be back with you guys in just a minute. Alrighty guys, so let's make a tortilla wrap. I'm not sure how well this is going to stay together, unfortunately. You okay? Okay. I microwaved it, so we'll see. Hopefully it will roll. Maybe. All right, so we have our dressing. What you're supposed to do is do this with it. Okay, so step number 1 is accomplished. And the next, you want to have some greenery. So I am using a balanced medley of tender baby lettuces and baby greens. That's what it says on the label. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in here. The more the merrier for greenery, right? Okay, and then the next thing that goes in here will be some of this garbanzo bean. So we'll just sprinkle some of that in there. So there we go, garbanzo bean sprinkled. And as far as innards go, we have some chopped up cucumber, some chopped up tomato, and some avocado. So just put some of that in there. And the tomatoes are all for me because my husband will not eat them, which is all the more and merrier for me. Wonderful. And I don't need a whole bunch of fat because I had that ranch dressing at lunch today, but I'm gonna put three slices in there because that sounds like it would be delicious. So this is supposed to be just a wrap, so it's not, doesn't need to be super tight. I don't know that this is gonna stay together, guys, but that's okay. It's not like a sushi roll, that's for darn sure. Anthony, will you hand me a knife, please?
Big or little?
Just the one that's right there is fine. No, this one right here. Yeah. Thank you.
Wow.
Okay, guys. Let's see if we can make this look pretty. I'm not 100% sold on whether or not this is going to be pretty, but... Well... No? However, sure looks edible. Oh my gosh, that looks delicious. Okay, so there we go. It is beautiful. So I'm going to taste test this for you, but I'm going to go clean my hands up real quick first, and I will be back with you in just a second. All right, guys, so it is going to be supper time now. So my husband and I are going to share a melon. This is a G-A-Y-A melon. Gaia? I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a melon. I have a few slices on my plate. I did actually take some of the salad-y type stuff and make an extra little salad on my plate as well. And there's my wrap. So I'm going to try to eat this. I'm going to at least taste it for you. But it's not pretty. I mean, in terms of it's not going to stay together nicely. These little brown rice wrap thingies, they don't stay together nicely, but that's okay. Okay, big bite. Ready? That's very good. So, that is excellent. Totally recommend that. You can go heavy on the sauce. So, I just put a very slight layer on the sauce. You could definitely put more on there. Obviously the chickpea, the garbanzo beans are dry. So very, very tasty. The combination is excellent. I would highly recommend this one for sure. So if you're looking for something that's kind of light and not quite salady, but still very, very, very good for you in terms of all the ingredients, this is really good. So, alrighty guys, I'm gonna go eat with my husband and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow.